Hello, everybody. Welcome to another tarot reading. My name is Amber, and this is Earthy Indigo. I hope that you are doing very well today, or tonight, or whenever it is that you are tuning in to this reading. Happy New Year if you are watching this at the time of upload. All right, let's jump into this. We're going to start off with some zodiac signs and see what messages will come through here. Now, these could be yours. Your sign, or it could be somebody that you are dealing with. Take how it resonates for you. Okay, I think that's the only one on the ground. So let's put this deck aside. So we're going to start off here with a Libra, and we have the number 7. So that could be a life path number for somebody here. It could also be the 7th month, which would be July. Somebody could also be a Libra. This could also be talking about balance. I'm also getting the Justice card, which would be a Libra card. So for somebody here, maybe you deal with the justice system, or maybe that's something you do for a career. There could be something here to do with contracts as well for somebody. And then we have Scorpio with the number 8. So we have progression here with 7 and 8. The 8th month would be August. So the month of August or July could be significant for somebody here. And then we have Neptune with the number 21. That would reduce down to the number 3, which would be the month of March. Now, Neptune rules Pisces. Pisces is in March, as well as February. So somebody here could be a Pisces. This could have something to do with somebody's, I don't know, like for some of you, this could be like a dream of yours. Maybe like a passion dream, or maybe this has something to do with like an actual like literal dream that you've had here. Somebody could be daydreaming a lot. With Scorpio being here, there could be something about like a rebirth or a regeneration. But let's see what else we can get. So let's get a few signs from the stars and see what other information we can get. Okay, let me grab the ones on the card, on the floor. There are quite a few. Okay, there's only 2. Just kidding. Okay. So we have the number 717 to start off with. So, and we did get the number 7 here. So July 17th could be significant for somebody. 717 is also a divine partner number. So please do look up the meaning for any angel numbers if they do resonate for you. I'm not going to get into too much detail on the numerology here. But 717, this could be a number that somebody is seeing a lot. And then we have 444. So again, you know, 444 can be a divine partner number as well. It can speak about reunion. 717 can talk about that as well. Somebody here could also be going through some sort of a spiritual awakening. But since we have Scorpio out here, and then I am getting kind of like a daydreaming energy, maybe this is gonna turn out to be a divine partner reading. We'll get more information. It would explain the deck that I was called to use, which I will talk about once we get into the tarot. But for somebody here, this could be some sort of like a divine partner union. Also, like I said, somebody could be going through a spiritual awakening, maybe some sort of a dark night of the soul with Scorpio being out here. Definitely transitions here. We have September. So I'm getting that Green Day song, which isn't really one of my favorite Green Day songs. It's kind of like one of my least favorite, to be honest with you. But the band Green Day could be like a band that somebody here likes. The month of September could be significant too. That would be Virgo and Libra, I believe. And then I'm also getting like the birthstone is sapphire. So for some of you, maybe the color blue. Maybe somebody here likes blue. Very interesting. We have messages through music. So maybe somebody is getting messages through music, or maybe there's a significant song that's making somebody think about something or think about someone. Maybe even somebody here could do something in the with music or in the music industry. And then we have horseshoe. So I always get luck with horseshoe, so there could be something lucky. Maybe there's like a message. Maybe you get some sort of message that's like a lucky message. Maybe there's music to do with that message. I don't really know. Like maybe it does come through a song, or I don't know. Maybe there's a specific song playing when you get the message, something like that. I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody, but I always get luck with the horseshoe. Somebody also could, you could have horses or you could live around horses. And then, you know, I get a farrier as well, which if you don't know what a farrier is, that's a person that takes the shoes on and off of horses, which if you don't know, horses wear shoes and they're metal, and it takes a skilled person to put them on and off. So somebody here could have a horseshoe like decor. Maybe it's like jewelry or something, but I'm kind of getting it more like maybe hanging over your door, or it's like a picture frame or something like that. It's interesting. I'm kind of not really getting it as being like an actual literal horseshoe, just kind of like a representation of a horseshoe. I don't know, maybe there's a picture. Maybe somebody here is looking at pictures. Maybe looking at pictures of somebody from the past. Okay, let's get into the tarot and see what other information we can get here. Now, I have the Delos Tarot today. This is the deck that I was called to use, which I do find, you know, if you're an original to my YouTube channel specifically, then you'll know that this deck is one that I usually only use for twin flame readings, because it's one of my decks that I kind of specifically use for those kind of readings. So it was interesting for me that I was called to use this deck for this reading, because like I said, I wasn't intending for it to be anything. I wasn't intending for any sort of like specific message to come through with the reading. I was just getting messages, you know, seeing what comes through, especially with it being the new year. But for somebody here, you know, we could definitely be talking about that. We'll see. I do have a Divine Partner Indicator card here in this deck, so if it comes out, we'll know for sure. But for somebody here, you know, if this isn't talking about a Divine Partner like reunion, then it could just be like maybe you're heavily thinking about this person, or thinking about you know, whether you know who they are or not. Because for some of you, maybe you don't know who this person is. Maybe you've just been kind of like picking up on them energetically. Maybe you may be about to meet this person. We'll see. All right, so let's get some messages here from the tarot. We have the Magician. All right. So Aquarius energy with the Magician. Also the number 1, January, which today is actually January 1st if you're watching this at the time of upload. So 1-1, the number 11. But for me, the Magician card is one of my indicators of a Divine Masculine. So somebody here could be a Divine Masculine, or maybe you are picking up on the energy of your Divine Masculine. Take it how it resonates for you. But with the Magician, you know, I am seeing here, it says as above, so below. So I'm kind of getting like, for some of you, there is, I don't know, like maybe you're getting like divine downloads, or you're getting messages energetically. For some of you, maybe even like in some way psychically from, I don't know, like I want to say from your Divine Masculine, but if you are a Divine Masculine, then maybe you're getting messages from the divine. I think it's going to depend on how you resonate. I'm getting really drawn to like the purple and the yellow on the hat, and this like cute little moon right here. So there could be something about the moon, and maybe the colors purple and yellow. So yellow would be the solar plexus and purple would be the third eye. Is somebody having like an ego death, or did somebody recently have an ego death? Okay, so someone's manifesting here for sure. Could be a masculine, like I said. Could be you, if you're the feminine. Take it how it resonates for you. But let's get some more information here. Tell us more about the Magician. Okay, we have death on the bottom of the deck. I'm not surprised this came out. It's Scorpio energy, also the number 13. So tell me more. Tell me more. Why is the Magician and death out here? Why do we have these? See, that's a lot. Okay, let's start with the face up one. So we have the Knight of Cups. And then oh wow, we have the Ace of Cups. You guys, for real, for real. What is this one? There's 2 here. Okay, I'm being told not to look at these ones yet. So we will get to these ones, but Okay. So there's a couple of different messages coming through here. For some of you, you could be trying to manifest your person coming through. If you, especially, I'm going to be reading, I'm going to be taking these messages being for those of you that are not in a relationship. So if you're here looking for information on your current partner, this is probably not the reading for you. I'm just going to say that now. This is going to be more of those that are single. I think that for some of you, maybe like you're manifesting that. Maybe you're trying to manifest like your perfect connection or a specific divine connection, depending on what you resonate with here and depending on where you are in your journey. Like I know that there are those of us on the divine partner journey that don't know who our divine partner is. We haven't met them in the physical yet. And then there are those of us who have met them in the physical, and we're in a separation. So reunion or union, it's going to depend on where you fall on the timeline, I guess. That wasn't the word I was going to go with, but that's what's coming through here. Okay, so we definitely have messages coming in here. Could be messages. Somebody could be like asking somebody out on a date here. Maybe you're manifesting a date. Very interesting. So let's take a look at these cards. We have the Three of Cups and we have the Nine of Wands. Okay. So somebody might be a little afraid of getting burned. Somebody here could have, maybe you've recently gone through a difficult connection. And maybe you're just kind of like starting to get back out in the dating world, or maybe you're finally like opening yourself up to be receptive to that. But there is sort of like a little bit of a hesitation here. Maybe for some of you, maybe you're a little, I'm hearing like gun shy, but it's also kind of like maybe you're a little, how do I even say this? It's not social anxiety, but like maybe you're just don't feel like you're good at socializing, or you're not really used to being around a lot of people, or maybe you don't frequent places where like typically you would imagine singles frequenting. That was a hard word to get out. Like a bar or a club or something like that. Like maybe you're just not really the type of person that like does that kind of a thing. For some of you here, there could also be some stress and some nervousness around meeting other people. This could also be something that you're working through and healing. For somebody here, I just kind of get like it's sort of like it takes a lot of strength for you to not necessarily like interact with people, but maybe put yourself in situations where you might be surrounded by a lot of people. I'm just going to leave it like that because I think it's going to be different for everybody. So tell me more about this Three of Cups and Nine of Wands energy. The Two of Swords, yeah. So like I said, so there's a little bit of a defense here. So I feel like, and then we have the Chariot. King of Wands, Page of Cups, the Fool, Eight of Cups. Okay, so for somebody here, we have Cancer energy, we have fire energy, which is Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, water energy, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, and then we have the Fool, which is Aries energy. So for somebody here, I kind of feel like it's very possible that maybe you kind of like took a leap of faith with somebody in the past, or maybe you even kind of like rushed into a connection or a commitment with somebody even in the past, and you more or less like got burned and you had to walk away. Like the Eight of Cups here, this is wanting, to build the Ten of Cups, but it never comes to fruition. And so you get all the way to 8, you're only 2 away, but you have to walk away, and basically like start over. So for some of you, I think that's something that you could have gone through. I feel like, however long ago that was for you in the past. And I feel like maybe like now you're finally getting to a point where you feel ready to put yourself out there. Maybe you're even, like I said, like trying to manifest your person. Like, and I do kind of feel like this is more of like who I'm speaking to is somebody who's trying to manifest more of a divine connection, like the real deal, like no more of this, stuff that you had to deal with in the past. But I do feel like there is still like a sense of hesitancy here. Like there's still a guardedness. Like I feel like you're still guarding your heart because it's been broken, you know? And I feel like there's also sort of like, it could even be like for some of you, like, kind of like, I just keep getting it as like it's like a fear of putting yourself out there. However, that might be. Now, it could be like socially, like with friends, but definitely also, you know, when it comes to romantic connections. So tell us more about this. Tell us more about this energy, please. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man, which is Virgo energy. We have Temperance, Sagittarius, and then we have the Knight of Wands, more fire energy. So for some of you, you could have gotten some sort of a new perspective. Maybe you've healed some wounds. And maybe there was, I'm kind of getting the sense of like looking back on whatever this past situation was for you. And it's kind of like looking back on it without the rose tinted glasses or from a higher perspective or however you want to look at it. But it's like noticing things that maybe you didn't notice before, you know. And I'm also kind of getting like with age comes wisdom or something like that. There's like a saying with that, but it could be something that like maybe you're noticing, you're realizing about the connection now because of the things that you've learned through your life since disconnecting with whatever that past energy was. And because you were able to see these things, it allowed you to be able to heal from it. There's a sense of alchemizing it too. Like maybe you're taking this energy, this whatever it could be. For a lot of you, I feel like it was pain and heartbreak, but you're alchemizing it and turning it into something else. You're learning from it. And, you know, it's kind of like, you know, a sense of like, there's a song there. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Never gonna keep me down. It's kind of like that kind of an energy, you know, like there's those toys like Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. It's like that, you know, like you can get knocked down and you may like, you know, hit the ground, but you'll get back up again. It's kind of like that. And for some of you, I think that's exactly what this is. It's like a metaphorically getting back on the horse. This, you know, Knight of Cups, this horse of love, I guess we'll say. The romance pony, interesting. Somebody here may watch Rambling Mike. I like him, but I was just picking up on that with the romance pony. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Now, for some of you, I do feel like, sorry for that background noise. I'm not really sure what that is, but for some of you, I was gonna say that this person from the past could have been a player. You could also be worried about connecting with players. Maybe you do. Maybe that's something that like you've experienced was connecting with player type of energy, especially, you know, if you go to, you know, places that singles usually frequent, such as like a bar or a club or something like that. You know, you tend to run into those kinds of energies. The Knight of Wands kind of energies, the, you know, hookup culture type of energy, you know, and I'm not really kind of getting that from whoever is watching this. I don't really think that's what it is that you're manifesting. You're not manifesting some sort of a situationship. You're manifesting a divine partnership. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a difference between that. You know. Okay, bottom of the deck is the Star. So yeah, like I said, massive healing with the Star here. Again, there's alchemizing, you know, and for some of you, you could even be in the spotlight in some way, or maybe, like I said, you know, you're putting yourself out there. Maybe there's maybe it's kind of like you're putting yourself out there, but you're still kind of like being a little hesitant because you're aware of these player energies that are out there. It could be something here to do with a bird too, because I got pulled to this bird here. But we have Aquarius energy showing up again with the Star. But yeah, like I said, the Star is also wish fulfillment, you know. So for you, how do I say this? You're manifesting this beautiful divine connection, and you know, with the Star showing up here, yeah, look at that, guys, for real. I was like, I wanted to pull and see what was underneath because I had a feeling it was going to be the Nine of Cups, but it's the Four of Wands. This is the 1111 card. This talks about celebration. It can talk about marriage. It's, you know, it's a divine partner card for sure. So, I think this is confirmation here. Like, you don't have to worry. Like, and I think a lot of it is because of what you've learned from your past connections. You don't have to worry about, falling for another player because you're aware of what they look like. You know what I mean? Like, you can spot a Knight of Wands and you're not going to fall for a Knight of Wands because you're looking for your Emperor or your Empress. You know what I mean? And I think the Star and the Four of Wands here is confirmation that that will happen for you. Maybe even this year. Especially if you're watching this at the time of upload. This could be the year. Okay, so that was beautiful. Let's get a couple more cards here. So I have the, if I can grab it, I have the Unicorn Affirmators. So these are going to be, I'm going to take these as being advice for you, the viewer, however you resonate, whether you resonate with being the feminine, the masculine, whether you're just here hanging out. Let's get a couple cards here. So what messages? Okay, thank you. So the first one that we have is don't take it personally. If someone starts to speak unkindly to me, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. Like maybe they just pooped their pants. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, so I think that this is, this is just a reminder. And again, because of the things that you have learned and the progression that you've made along your life path and your healing journey, you don't have to worry about, these Knight of Wands energies or taking it personally when you do run into them, because you understand from a higher point of view, it's not really, how do I even say this? It's not you, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it. That sounds so cliche, but it truly is, Excuse me. Okay, so next we have strength, and I do feel Leo energy here with this strength card. So it says, you are hereby declared a strong, resilient warrior of heroic proportions. Enjoy your battles, whatever they are, because you're guaranteed to come through them stronger, brighter, and more compassionate. And based on what I know of mythology, probably with great hair and a six-pack. So I wonder if for some of you, like maybe you've had some sort of a falling out with a group. Maybe this had to do with like the ending of a connection. Okay, this is kind of feeling a little specific. So if this message isn't for you, then leave it. But for some of you, maybe you had a falling out with like a friend group because of the ending of some sort of a connection. And so now it's kind of like not just a hesitancy when it comes to connecting with somebody romantically, but maybe there's also a hesitancy when it comes to connecting with others platonically, because you have literally been burned in, more ways than one. There are 3 people here on this this 3 of Cups card, and it talks about, the 3 of Cups talks about celebration, talks about celebrating with other people, like getting together with friends and things like that. But it can also talk about third parties as well. So for some of you, maybe there was some sort of like third party interference in a connection in the past. That sort of led to this this heartbreak. But okay, let's see here. Let's do one of these. We're gonna get a note from the universe. Okay, so this says, I just met with someone very, very fond of you. Actually, everyone here is very, very fond of you. Anyway, this friend said to tell you that just because most people are looking for what they think they don't have, doesn't mean they don't have it. She also said you still look fab in black. Weird, huh? I mean the first part, the universe. So, okay, for me, I always take this card as being a message from somebody who's passed on, and it's really interesting because I was literally thinking about this card earlier today. I went to the store and I was wearing, I have a leather jacket, and I was wearing, and it's black leather. It's not real leather, obviously, but I was wearing my jacket and I was thinking of my grandma who has passed on, and It'll be 2 years this summer since she passed on. But I was thinking about how I kind of feel like I might cry right now, honestly. So for some of you, maybe like there's like it's like a grandma that could be coming through, or maybe like a mother figure. But I was thinking about how she used to comment when I was younger in my rebel teenage years about how I always wore black, and she wasn't really very fond of it, and wanted me to wear other colors. And I was laughing because I'm wearing a green sweater, and so I was, like, well, I'm wearing green. But anyway, that's getting me a little bit emotional. So I'm gonna I just feel like that's a message for somebody here, that there's maybe somebody from the other side that's coming through. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so we're going to end this here with an angel number. So thank you all very much for taking time out of your day or night to hang out here with me. I do hope that these messages were helpful and they resonated with you. All right, so we have 2002, The Void, longing, technology, ambition, genius, forward thinking, stress, and depression. You have more control over your life than you realize. Learn to execute what interests you. Turn things around. It gets better with time. There are plenty of friends to make, so chill out, have fun, and open up. Go outside. So I think that's definitely a message for, whoever it is that's afraid to connect with other people. How do I even say this? There are others out there that are a more vibrational match with you and where you are currently, So yeah, just don't close yourself off forever. There's nothing wrong with being in hermit mode. Just don't stay in hermit mode, forever. Heal and then come out. Like a butterfly would never. It can a caterpillar can make a cocoon, and it can go through the whole metamorphosis of breaking itself down and literally changing its entire physical form and biological form, whatever it is, to become a different creature, an entirely different creature. But it's never going to actually become that creature and live a life as that creature if it never comes out of the cocoon. And eventually, if it doesn't come out of the cocoon, then it's not ever going to come out of the cocoon. Do you know what I mean? So don't spend too long in the cocoon. Whoever may need to hear this, little baby butterfly, it's time to spread your wings and fly. All right, we have 6666. Great blessings, self-love, boundaries, needs, good vibes, wisdom, understanding, and letting go. Nurture yourself, your needs, desires, and boundaries. Let go of things that are weighing you down. Make space for something meaningful and expand your spirit to all areas of your life. That big love, opportunity, or job needs to squeeze in somewhere. I love that. Okay, especially because I definitely feel like whoever this reading is for, is manifesting at least a new romantic connection, but also new connections in general into your life. But you've got to have room for it, and a lot of the it's kind of like a energetic cleansing, I guess. You know what I mean? All right, so that's where I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys again for hanging out. I do hope the messages were helpful. I hope you have a very happy new year, that 2026 or whatever year you're watching this in is wonderful to you. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Bye-bye.